Hi everyone, welcome to my video about me and my Neo 2 doing some FPV around my property. I own 6 acres on a country town in northeastern Victoria, and a lot of you who know me know I fly planes, FPV. That's me, sitting in the chair with my Jethro Tull broadsword t-shirt on, wearing the goggles 3 and the motion controller. This is the back of my property, looking away from the house, and you'll notice that I'm in normal mode, so I only can do about 30 kilometers an hour maximum speed, and at my age now that's about fast enough for me. I have tried it in sports mode and I do okay, but sometimes in the tight spots I hit a few objects and have to go and pick up the drone. But this is me just flying around the property, not flying out into the paddock at all, or the fields, sorry. And we've been at this property now for 6 years, and I have flown a plane from here, the MTD. I flew it from that piece of land we just crossed there, and catapult launched it and flew away with it. But the trees in the distance there do tend to block the radio signal, so if I have to go above 400 feet I don't do it, and you need to get higher to let the signal go through. That's the driveway into the property, and that's the laneway which we live. And if you see my car is dirty, and the reason it's dirty is because of that laneway, and I just don't bother washing the car much because every time I drive down it gets covered in dust. It's been very dry here in Australia this year, probably one of the hottest summers I've seen for a while, the driest certainly for a long time. And we just had over 100 mil or 4 inches of rain a few weeks ago, and you can see some remnants of it in the dark brown patches. We're just coming up to one of them now. Yeah, you'll see there, dark brown patch running along, and a little bit of water in front left over. But we needed that rain. You can probably see things are greening up, but they're still not as green as they could be. But anyway, back to the Neo 2. Look, I watched this channel. It's called the Oxfordshire Man, but I think his channel now goes by Drone Life. And he was flying the Neo 2 through a forest, I think Sassenach Forest in England. And he's flying in between trees, and I honestly just fell in love with his video because I thought this is what FPV is all about. Flying planes, I love it. Let me make this quite clear. I like to fly for at least an hour, so I put a lot of battery in my plane and I fly 1.3 gigahertz video, and I like to fly some distance and duration. But getting older, it's harder to launch the plane. It's just harder to get things done. The weather has not been very friendly for FPV in planes. And when I saw this video from the Oxfordshire Man flying this Neo 2, and he's got a Nevada, flying it round this forest in between trees, I immediately just fell in love. I think I watched all of his videos, so he'll be pretty happy about me doing that. But yeah, just immediately knew this is what I wanted to do. And I thought, I've got the space for it here. I'll do it. It'll never replace FPV in planes, but it looks really good fun. And I've got to say, I fly nearly every day now. I fly my 3 batteries. Sometimes after charging them, I fly another 3 batteries in the Neo 2, just like this around the property. I never get sick of it, really. Normally, there's a border collie running along there, along the fence line there, chasing the drone. He never attacks it, but he loves to chase it. But I've got him locked inside at the moment. But yeah, I do recommend that you, if you're interested in the Neo 2 and you want to do FPV, to certainly go and watch the Oxfordshire Man or Drone Life channel and watch some of his earlier videos. There's one on how to do FPV in the Neo 2, and I think it's his best. I'll put a link in the description below for you to follow that. But g'day Andy, if you're watching this. I don't think you would be, but love your stuff. Don't like the night flying, don't like the 360 views on the avatar, but the FPV side of it, love what you do. And that's great flying, to fly in between trees through the forest. For the life of me, I don't know how you find the plane after you've crashed it, because we all crash. I've crashed going through this little gauntlet here with the trees quite a few times. But yeah, anyway, certainly check out Andy's channel if you're interested in the Neo 2 and an FPV. It's some of the best FPV I've seen. He uses the motion controller like I am here, and I'll be quite honest, yeah, I've been flying 16 years now FPV, using a normal, well, for most of those years I used a Turnigy 9XR, and recently I've gone for the T16 S, and I've just got myself the T15 as well from Radio Master. But I love it for planes. But I have to admit to you that I'm just not good with my left hand, especially the left thumb. And I find that when you're flying drones, you really need to use your left hand more than your right hand. In an aircraft, you're basically using the right stick, your right hand, most of the time, nearly 90% of the time, and you're adjusting your throttle. Well, usually when you're cruising, you're not adjusting your throttle very much at all. And if so, it's only small amounts. Yes, I do use the rudder in the plane, would you believe? I do coordinated turns, but it's only a very small movement. Whereas with a drone, you're constantly moving your left thumb. I think I'd be better as a pincher, to be quite honest, flying drones. So if I got a smaller radio and tried pinching, I'd be much better. But I'm 16 years being a thumb man, I'm sort of stuck with that. So it's fine for planes, but when I saw Andy flying the Neo 2 with the love stick, as a lot of people call it, the flight controller, I thought, well, that makes sense. It really makes sense for flying one of these. So that's what I'm using, the flight controller, and it makes life quite easy for us old blokes. At first, when I started using it, I found it a bit jerky, so if you've got a shaking hand disorder, it may not be the best aircraft, the best way of controlling the aircraft, but I've learnt to sort of smooth it up and just be careful. Now, there's the low battery warning, so we'll be bringing it in now. I try not to take the batteries down below 20%. So here we are. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I won't be putting any more of these up. Don't subscribe to the channel. I don't really produce enough content for people to subscribe to, but do definitely check out Andy's channel if you're interested in the Neo 2. I fully recommend it. I think it's a great little drone. You can crash it, you don't do any damage to it. Anyway, thanks. See you later.